What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Thank you guys for tuning in today. Today, going to be doing something a little bit different. An idea that I've had for a little while that I think would just be fun and also allow me to get out very quick but entertaining videos for you guys. And that is doing some NBA quizzes. So today we're going to work through a couple of NBA quizzes pertaining to the NBA playoffs history. I think that this would be a good moment as the playoffs are going on, as we're starting to close in on the NBA finals, to go back in time and to try to learn more about, performances and leaders, in this case, statistical leaders within the NBA playoffs. And I think that these quizzes in general, whether they're basketball or football, will help both me and you guys go out and learn more about history. I mean, there's going to be some things that I absolutely do not know in some of the quizzes that we're going to be taking, and that'll be a nice, real learning experience. Get to remember things and really just get to learn stuff that we don't really know about. So the first quiz, we're going to have two quizzes today on the NBA playoffs. But the first quiz we're going to be starting off is NBA playoff leaders since 1980. So we're going to have 10 minutes to guess the NBA champion, NBA Finals MVP, points leader, rebounds, and assist leaders since the year 1980. So this is a lot to get through, but of course, there's going to be some duplicates in here. So 225 might seem like a high number, but I think that is very doable. But before we get into this first quiz, if you guys have not, please go down below, hit the subscribe button if you are liking what you are watching, comment, like the video, as well as share with your friends. And if you haven't already, make sure to go ahead and follow the podcast or the channel on all social medias, TikTok, Instagram, and Twitter. Where on all of those social medias you will get to see my reactions to breaking news within the NBA, as well as always be notified for when the podcast uploads. And without further ado, I don't think I have any more left to say. Let's quickly get into this. So we're going to start, I think, first off with the NBA champions. I think that would just be the easiest. So we have Nuggets in 23. We have Boston in 24. We had the Bucks. Warriors were a couple of times. 2020 was the Lakers. That's going to fill up a lot. 2019 was the Toronto Raptors with Kawhi Leonard. We had the Cavs in 2016. 2014 or 2013, was Heat and Spurs. 2011 was the Dallas Mavericks. That amazing run with Dirk where he beat the Heatles. He beat Kobe. 04 was the next generation of the bad boy Pistons. Of course, the Chicago Bulls. In the 90s, you had the Rockets. And then 83, that was the 76ers. Okay, so that was pretty quick. We have all the NBA champions knocked out. That was pretty easy. Now, finals MVPs. This will probably be pretty easy as well. 2024 last year was Jaylen Brown over Jason Tatum. We get Nikola Jokic for every leaders. He absolutely dominated the 2023 playoffs. Steph Curry gets his first in 2022. We have Giannis in 2021. LeBron should fill in a couple. Raptors, of course, is Kawhi Leonard. You had Kevin Durant, and I always forget how to spell Iguodala's name, but I got it this time. You have, I guess we have to spell out last names. You have Dirk. Kobe went back-to-back. Celtics in 08, that was actually, I actually didn't know this until a couple of weeks back. It was actually Paul Pierce. I was struggling to remember if it was either Pierce or Garnett, but Pierce just had a much more bigger impact on the offensive side of the ball. Duncan is not in 07. That is Tony Parker. I believe that's the run that he had feuding with Nash in Dallas, or I might be a year off on that. 06 Heat is obviously Wade. And, of course, we are also getting some of the leaders in this, which will be fine. Jordan will fill that in. Pistons, is that the Wallace brothers? No, but Ben Wallace led in rebounds that year. 04 Pistons. Oh, that's Chauncey Billups. That's always a weird one to remember because that team, I don't think that team necessarily had a big-time star. Hakeem was both of the Rockets years. You had Isaiah Thomas in 90. And then Lambeer was not 89. That was Joe Dumars. Lakers had all three of their superstars win the finals MVP in the finals. So Johnson, if I could type, James Worthy, and Abdul-Jabbar. The Celtics was Larry Bird, except for his except for their first championship, which it was cornbread Cedric Maxwell that beat him out. And then 83, I believe that is Moses Malone. It is. Okay, so we got past all that. Now we get into a little bit of the tougher part, which are the leaders. So I'm just going to think of championship teams right now. So Tatum, I'm also trying to think of who they played against in that year. So Celtics played the Mavs. So that's definitely Luka across the board last year. We already guessed Durant. I'm guessing Clay has to be in there somewhere. He led the playoffs in 2016. That I actually did not know. Barkley, Stockton has to be in there a couple of times. He did. Did Steve Nash lead? He did a couple of times. Rebounds leaders. Dwight Howard has to be in there. He's in there once. Warriors. Is Kyrie in there? No, he's not. Is Kevin Love in there? He is in there 1 year for leaders. Trying to go back in time. I think, oh wow, Mikhail's not in there. Parrish has to be in there for rebounds once. He is. Is Pippen in there? No. Wow, the rebounds leaders are definitely going to be tough. Let's stick here. Anthony Davis is the point leader in 2020. We already got Kobe, so 01 has to be Allen Iverson. He also had assist leaders that year, absolutely carried that Sixers team. Is 99 Ginobili? No. It is David Robinson? No. Really? It can't be Michael Finley. He wasn't on the Spurs till the mid 2000s. They played the Knicks that year. No, it's not Starks. It's Allen Houston. Is it Latrell Sprewell? It's Latrell Sprewell. Wow, I did not even know that. I was just thinking of that Knicks team that flipped all of their players that previous year, and they got Latrell Sprewell. Latrell Sprewell led the playoffs in 1999. That was, of course, lockout year. Who are these other teams? I can't believe I'm struggling with thinking of 90s, early 2000s big men. I can't believe I'm missing up here. That was the Celtics. Is Porzingis in here? He's not. Jokic, we already guessed. Assist leaders, too. I feel like I'm forgetting so many easy names. Is Kidd in here? He has to be in here a couple of times. We haven't done too bad. 2022 Golden State. I'm trying to think about who they played before that. I'm just trying to think of, the top bigs. Gobert, Towns. We already guessed Davis. Assist leaders as well. John Wall can't be in there. Rondo has to be in there a couple of times. Yeah, there he is. We already guessed Wade. Is Bosch somehow in there? No. Oh my goodness. We already guessed David Robinson. We already guessed Patrick Ewing. We already guessed Shaq. We already guessed Hakeem. Why can I not think of 90s big men? We have 3 minutes 30 left to do this. We already guessed Lambeer. What's his name? James Edwards or Mark Aguirre in there? No. Why can I not think of this? Oh, Powell has to be in there. He's only in there once for 2010. 18 Golden State. Is Tristan Thompson in there with rebounds? No. So it has to be teams that they played before. Where's Westbrook? Westbrook has to be in there. Ibaka maybe. Perkins? No. Oh my gosh, this is actually going to make me really mad. We have 21 left. Points per game in, what was that, 82? Oh man, I can't even think. That has to be Dr. J. Down there in 82. Wow, I can't think of point guards. Chris Paul. Chris Paul's not in there once? Well, I guess mid-2000s. Yeah, that makes sense. Garnett has to be in there once. He's in 08, so he's the rebounds leader in 08. Dirk. I know Yao Ming didn't make it. Oh my goodness, man. Diego, think of power forwards and point guards and centers. 01. That can't be Mutombo. It just can't be. No, he wasn't. He was aging when he was in Philly. I'm just thinking of random names to put. Rambus. I'm trying to think of playoff of. I'm trying to think of finals teams, but I need to be thinking about playoff teams. And these are just random guesses. Al Horford was 22. I knew that these Hawks would be in there, even though Horford was on the Celtics in 2022. Pacers, like Miles Turner, Paul George. Is Hibbert in there a year? 2011. Boris Diaw? No way. There's no way. I'm stuck, and these assist leaders are really going to get to me. Like, is Lillard in there maybe? I know that he wasn't really throwing assists. Oh my gosh, man. Fox, there's no way. Sabonis. 55 seconds. We can do it. We got Kevin Johnson. What about down here? Oh, Rodman. Rodman has to be in there. Horace Grant also. Okay, there fills the 90s block. Gosh, it wasn't centers. It was just Bulls power forwards. 82 and 80. Is that Bob McAdoo? No. Played for the Lakers for a little bit. 2019 and 2018. DeMarcus Cousins? No, I think he was hurt for a lot of those finals. Oh, man, guys. 20 seconds, 18 seconds. We already guessed Kyrie. I'm trying to think of other, like, good point guards. 01 rebounding, 11. Oh, Tyson Chandler. Tyson Chandler on the Mavs. That's all we're going to have to do. Oh, 213 out of 225. That's not bad. It's 95%. Draymond Green. I said Mutombo. Oh, I misspelled it. I misspelled Mutombo. Oh, that sucks. I spelled it with two U's instead of an O. Oh, how did I not think about Draymond Green? For whatever reason, I don't think of Draymond Green as a rebounder. I just think of him as like this annoying defender. It's the weirdest thing ever. But Draymond Green, that would have filled in what, 1, 2, 3, 4. So we've been at 217. I'm gonna be honest. Penny Hardaway didn't even strike my mind. I wasn't even looking at 95 for the majority of the time. Mark Jackson, I definitely could have got. Maurice Cheeks. Oh, that was the third guy on the Sixers. I could have gotten that. Caldwell Jones, no idea. So I should have gotten Maurice Cheeks, Mark Jackson, Mutombo, and Draymond. 2021, Drew Holiday, no way. I would have, as weird as it sounds, I would have guessed Chris Middleton before Drew Holiday. Just because when I think Bucks, I think of Chris Middleton before. But that's not bad. 95%. The average score was 72. So definitely not bad for our first attempt at a quiz. Let's go ahead and do one last one. And I think that this one is going to be even harder, despite it not having as many answers for it. All right. So as you can see, this quiz has a lot less answers to it. It also has a little bit less time. We have to get 57 minutes. But I think it's definitely going to be a lot harder, especially with statistics like steals and blocks and whatnot. Oh, man, this is going to be really, really tough. Also, going to try to block off some of these ads, so I apologize. Let's go ahead and zoom in here a little bit on this quiz. All right, let's not waste any more time. Let's just get into it. So Jordan is definitely going to be in here. LeBron tops everyone. I'm thinking of Kobe. Shaq has to be in there for a couple. Curry might. No, doesn't have enough threes. Durant's in there. Is Carmelo Anthony in there? He's not. Assists, that has to be. I'm just gonna go through the great point guards. You got Stockton. You got Chris Paul. Jason Kidd has to be in there. Steve Nash. 23-46. Not Isaiah Thomas. Has to be Magic Johnson then. Let's see. Is West or Jerry West is in there? We didn't have the 70s and the 60s, so I guess Jerry West was in there. Jerry West has 4,457 points. So that's what I'm saying. I don't know about any of these. We also were able to get a couple of these. Let's get Mutombo's not in there. Is Cheeks in here? He is. He's there for steals. I thought that would have been for assists. Let's go with Dr. J. Not in there. Moses. Karl Malone's in there. I don't think Barkley did it long enough. I also don't think Olajuwon. He did. He got enough blocks. Ewing has to be in there somewhere. Robinson. Duncan did it for so long, man. So actually not at a bad point. We're a minute and a half in, and we are already more than halfway through the quiz. 4104 rebounds. And there's 100% going to be a name that we guessed in the previous quiz that I'm just not going to get. I'm not going to forget Draymond. Dennis isn't in there either. Lambeer. I'm trying to think of finals teams, and I need to think about playoff teams. Like, not like Stockton never won a championship, but he's at 338 with steals and 1839 with assists because he made the playoffs so many times. I'm trying to think of teams that consistently made it. Tony Parker has to be there. He's also what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10th in points for Tony Parker. Dude had an underrated career, man. Ginobili, Wade wasn't in there long enough. Clay, 57-62. Are they counting Russell in this? They are. So that has to be Kareem. That is Kareem. Okay, so we're kind of there. We have points filled out. Assist is almost there. We already guessed Maurice Cheeks. Maybe like Den. I know we already guessed. Oh, we already guessed Magic. I don't think Chauncey did it long enough. I don't think Iverson did it long enough. Ooh, Elgin Baylor is there for rebounds. Okay, I'm trying to think back like old. Oscar Robertson. No. I know Archibald isn't in this. He didn't make it enough with the Royals or the Kings. Kings is probably not a good, but is Gasol on there? Is Howard on there? Is Garnett? I don't think he made it enough times. Pierce didn't either. Rondo was in there so many times. 11:36. So 11 to go. 3:24 remaining. Rebounds, D. Rebounds. Think. Did we guess David Robinson? We did. It's kind of surprising that he's on blocks. But rebound, he was a little bit more of an athletic center. I don't think Alonzo was in there long enough. Johnson is like a Lou Hudson maybe there for steals. Is Jokic here at all? That would be pretty crazy. We thought about LeBron, Anthony Davis. Kawhi didn't do it long enough. Neither did Paul George. Trying to think of modern guys, and I don't think that is the strategy. Maravich, no. I'm trying to think back further. Steals like Dumars. Was Dantley on there? Sidney Moncrief. We already typed in Johnson Diego a million times. What other teams were competing in like the 70s, the 80s? I'm trying to think of draft classes too. We put Jason Kidd. I'm also just trying to think of like rankings of like guards and forwards. Did we put Larry Bird in here? We did not. Oh my gosh, I would have literally been so angry if I didn't do that. I know we put Barkley. We put Kevin Johnson. Marley. Is Clyde Drexler by any chance in here? No. Gary Payton. He didn't do it long enough. Neither did Kemp. Man, 9 left and 143, and I know that there's going to be some in here that are pretty obvious. What about that? What about the Lakers teams? Is Harper Pippen? I figured he'd be in there for steals. He's ahead of Jordan by 19. Who else am I missing? Is Horace Grant in there at all? I think we already guessed Rodman. I'm just throwing out Luke Longley, Sean Bradley. I need to think deeper. This is a Nuggets answer, but Alex English? No. David Thompson, Dan Issel. Nope, I'm going into my Nuggets crowd here. 8 more. 39-13 rebounds, dude. I should know that. We have Kareem. Oh my gosh, I didn't type in Will. Thank goodness, bro. And he only has 1. I don't know. I don't ask. I just saw Bill Russell and then I saw Kareem and I correlated the two somehow. 1,061. I wonder what the asterisks are. Get some info. Oh, denotes active player. Active player. Who's active right now that has that many assists? It can't be. Oh my gosh, the active player is going to make me mad now. No. We already guessed. I don't know. I'm not going to get it. Oh, there's an active player, and that's going to make me mad. 3. I mean, we didn't do too bad on this one either. I was going to guess James Harden. I was literally going to guess James Harden. But points weren't available, so I didn't even. Oh, my. He was assists. Wes Unseld and Robert Parrish. I told you there was going to be a guy on the last quiz. We guessed Robert Parrish on the last quiz, and he was rebounds and blocks. McHale was in there for blocks as well, which he didn't get an answer on the last one, but we guessed him. We guessed Serge Ibaka too. We guessed Ginobili. Oh my, this was gettable. This was so gettable. I think the only one, I almost guessed Bill Walton too. He's not on this list. The only one I would have had trouble with was probably, well, clearly I had trouble with all these, was probably Wes Unseld and probably Serge Ibaka. I didn't think Serge would be that high. 292 blocks, and he made it. Well, I guess he made it in consecutive years with OKC, and then he made it obviously with Toronto. So, dang, that's wild. But there it is. A very, very quick episode for you guys today. A little bit more of NBA history more than talking about the current NBA. But I think that this was, super fun. Again, just a really quick, entertaining video for you guys. Being able to learn some things that we did not know. I'm sure we'll do harder and even more obscure quizzes in the future. But let me know. Let me know if you guys like this idea. If you don't like this idea, if you guys don't like it, then we'll just go away from it and completely go back to just the sit-down podcast types talks. But let me know down below in the comments, as well as liking the video, subscribing to the channel, and sharing with your friends. And like I've always said, if you want to, please feel free to go ahead and follow us on all social medias as well. Just a little bit of a bonus to be able to see my reactions to breaking news from the NBA and NFL, as well as you always get to know when a podcast is uploaded. So maybe even if you're not subscribed, have post notifications on, which definitely go ahead and do that. But if you're not, maybe you could use that way as a way of you notifying you. Just different types of ways to support the channel. You guys have been absolutely amazing from the time that I've started doing this. I've had so much fun. And without further ado, guys, I think that that's all that I have for you guys today. I hope that you guys have a great rest of your week, a very, very safe weekend out there. I will see you guys on the next one. Peace.